And today I am at Raccoon Creek State Park. I'm going over to the Pioneer campsite, which I believe should take about an hour to walk from where I'm at. I'm just waiting for this storm to finish. I kind of tried to wait all day as long as I could, but I'm trying to get to the campsite before it gets dark. It's about 7:15. I'm waiting for this map to update. It looks like the bulk of this stuff is gonna miss me just to the south, but I'm waiting for this to update in 2 minutes. I'm probably gonna be walking in the rain anyways, but I'm thinking I can take access roads the whole way to the campsite rather than walk through the paths, the forest trail Appaloosa. Appaloosa is going to be a muddy mess. It's a shared use with horses, so they usually tear it up pretty good, so it's usually very muddy. In this rain that just came through probably made it worse. So I'm still hearing thunder. I'm hanging out by the car. It just started coming down pretty good as soon as I pulled into the parking lot. So I'm gonna give it a few more minutes and then see what happens. All right, I'm still hearing thunder, but looking on this map, it looks like it's just gonna miss me. So I got about an hour and a half of daylight. Figuring it's gonna take about an hour to walk to the campsite, and hopefully I'm just gonna take off. Maybe I'll get set up before it gets dark. And yeah, if I get rained on, oh well. But oh yeah, new phone is finally got rid of the old iPhone 4, and I'm working with this new phone here. See how long the battery lasts on this one. And I can't get used to how big this thing is. It's like carrying around an entire laptop. So all right, I'm gonna hit the trail or hit the road probably. I'm gonna probably just walk the access road. And probably not going to film much because there's not much to see between here and the campsite. So pick it up whenever. It seems like the thunder is getting further and further away. So anyways, this is a Nickel Road, this access road called Nickel Road, and there's usually a gate up by where I parked at the parking lot where I'm at, and it's usually closed, but sometimes they'll have it open if there's people like group camping out here at Pioneer. And it was open today, so I figured there's probably people out here group camping. And so a car just came down the road behind me. The guy stopped and asked me if I needed a ride. I said no. So I guess he's probably heading out to group camp. He had a parking permit in his hanging from his rearview mirror. So I guess there'll be somebody out in this general area. So I'm solo backpacking today. I just wanted to just get out of the house and just do something, and there was nothing on any meetup sites that was going on, so figured I'd just make up my own. And this Raccoon Park's only 5 minutes from my house, or 5 miles basically, but it's back roads. So yeah, should be. This is all downhill. When I get to the bottom of here, there's a huge. If I stay on Nickel Road, it's a major uphill. It's a very tough climb. It's the toughest climb in this whole park, just going up the road. It's either that or make a right up Appaloosa, which, like I said before, is the shared use horse trail, which I'm sure is going to just be a muddy mess. So, and I'm even coming across spider webs. I'm getting spider webs in the face, even on this main road. So I can't imagine how bad the spider webs are on the trails right now. If I had taken forest trail instead of the road, I would have came out right here. And this is just, this section right here is always a muddy mess, and it's just overgrown. I would be all itchy and everything if I went through all that stuff. Itchy and wet, so I'm assuming Appaloosa right up around the bend, it's not going to be any nicer. Okay, well, I wouldn't be taking Appaloosa anyways. It has been rerouted due to severe erosion along this section. So I'm going up the hill no matter whether I like it or not. But yeah, that would just be not fun right there. Alright, just made it to the top of the hill. Pretty much flat from here to the campsite. Pioneer Camp Road, I'm heading that way. There's this, I guess like it's a horse. I don't know what you call it. You just take a break with your horses over here. And I guess you tie them to those cables over there. Oh, okay, here we go. Appaloosa Trail. This is the rerouted thing. I know it didn't come out here before. So that's a trail I've never been on right there. Let's see what this sign says on the other side. Yellow blazes. Appaloosa has been rerouted. Huh. Yeah, that's definitely not on the map that I have. In fact, the map, I've been out here so many times, the map I have is the second map. The first one just completely wore out, just fell apart. Okay, here's the water pump. I just hit 2 miles, and I'm just coming into the camping area now. There's Blackfeed group tenting. Here's the water pump, which hopefully it's working. I mean, I have water and everything, but the first 2 times I camped up here, we couldn't get the water pump working. Last year, it was working. So, nobody down at this first group camping. There are 2 more group camping areas up here. But the sky's getting pretty dark over there, and it sounds like thunder's getting closer. So, I've been doing like about 19 miles on the way here. So here is the restrooms right here. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop my pack in one of the shelters when I get down here. And okay, group people over here camping. So I'm going to head down the backpacking areas down here. Yeah, I'll drop my pack in one of these shelters and then take it from there, just in case it starts raining. Oh, I got to the campsite just in time. Skies just opened up. So I'm chilling in this shelter here. What is it? Shelter number 1. So I'm waiting the rain out before I go set up. I'm about to check the radar, but here are the stats for the hike in. 2.5 miles from the parking lot. Taking the all road. 47 minutes, 57 seconds, 359 calories. I'm starving. I need to get some calories in me. I got a really good dinner for later. So average pace 19 minutes per mile. Average speed 3.1, max 7.6, elevation gain 269 and loss 236. So that's the overview. There are people in this next shelter over here, shelter 2. They said there's somebody over at shelter 5. Those, when I passed those 2 cars that were up at the group camping area, the one car was the guy that passed me on the way in. He was on his way out here. I'm thinking that I didn't see any tents or anything, so I'm thinking maybe they parked there and are camped over there. Which I don't know. I mean, yeah, you're saving yourself a whole lot, a 2.5 mile walk, but I don't know how much it costs to get that parking permit to park right there at the group camping area. So, yeah. Oh, time to check the radar. See what the radar looks like. Well, I am the blue dot right there. And That red is just on the edge of where I'm at. So definitely waiting out that. And there's a bunch of scattered stuff coming in after that. So it looks like I'm going to be getting that unless I stay in this shelter. And I didn't bring a pad. I was going to bring a sleeping pad just in case. But I don't have one. So hopefully I'll be able to get my hammock set up sometime soon. Okay, it's 9:15. I'm just pretty much finished setting everything up here. And just relaxing right now. Might have just gotten things set up just in time because I'm hearing more thunder coming. Haven't checked the radar, but yeah, I'm gonna have to lose this headlamp in a minute. These bugs are starting to get to me. I'm gonna try to go without the mosquito net tonight. We'll see what happens. I slept in it out in the yard last night with no net, and I was fine. No bugs. So we'll see what happens. I'll be able to film things a little bit better in the morning. But for right now, I'm just chilling. I forgot about this down here. When we were at Dolly Sods 2 weeks ago, one guy out there, Mark, aka Smokey, he pulled out of his backpack 3 little bottles of just random alcohol. And I tried some peach schnapps in with my regular flavored water, Mio, that I like for hiking. Put some peach schnapps in that. It was great. So I was hoping to find some peach schnapps today at the wine and spirit store. They didn't have any, so I picked up 2 of these bottles of Apothec Red, which I've had before. It's pretty good. If I really get thirsty, I'm going to try making something with this Fireball. Maybe mix that with some of that, some of my Mio. And then I had 1 Bud Light Orange in the fridge I brought with me. So, all that's on the down low because you're not supposed to have alcoholic beverages in state parks. I'm not sure about Dolly Sods regulations, but yeah, I can see the state parks' reasoning is they don't want people being a drunken mess. Just ruining everybody else's quiet time out here. The people across the way over in the far shelter, they had a fire going. And over here, somebody left a bunch of nicely cut logs. I don't know that I'm going to get motivated enough to start a fire. I'm sure I don't need one, but yeah, if I get really bored, maybe I'll start a fire later. And I'm not. I had a couple snacks, so I'm not too hungry right now. We'll see. I got a pretty good dinner waiting for me. Well, it's about 10:30, and I'm thinking about going and hanging this my food bag, and then going to bed. This place, Pioneer, well, Raccoon, there's 2 backpacking places in Raccoon. You can camp at Sioux Campground or Pioneer. They both have bare poles. You can hang your food bag so you don't have to hang a line. And I'm at Pioneer right now. I think this is. I was trying to think of it. This is the 4th time I've camped at Pioneer. I think I've camped at Sioux 4 times. The first time I was at, this is interesting here. I don't know if I told this story before, but first time I camped at Pioneer. Let me think. Well, these trees are between that I'm hung up between right now. I hung between these same 2 trees last time I was here. The second time I was here, me and my friend Eric came up here, and we stayed in one shelter that is right down 100 feet from here. We came up here, and we deliberately planned this. It was Friday the 13th, and it was a full moon, which I think happens like once every 30 years or something. So we came up here on that particular night. We camped, we set up in the shelter, and then we night hiked over about 3 miles from here. There's a place called Kings Creek Cemetery, It's a really old cemetery. It's in the park boundaries. So we decided to night hike over there and check out this creepy old cemetery during a full moon on Friday the 13th. It's a little after 7 in the morning, and just went and got the food bag, and I got my water boiling for coffee over here. I made I'm boiling extra in case I didn't have it right now. I'm not sure. But I did not eat that dinner last night, so I'll just save that for another trip. So I'm just going to start slowly packing up this stuff I got hanging inside here while the water's boiling. And so this is a camp which I hung between these same exact trees last year. Trip I was up here last year. This is site number, let's see what number this is. Site number 2. I signed up for 3, but there's no, I thought there was some trees I could hang on over at 3, but there's not. So it doesn't matter, I'm the only one here. People in that shelter, they went to bed pretty early before me. And then there's people way over on the other side in shelter number 5, and they were up all night. Slept pretty good until some mosquitoes came flying around my face this morning because I went without the bug net. And it's a little chilly right now. I got my puffy jacket on, but shorts and puffy jacket. I just went walking through each one of these 5 tent sites here, looking for hammock trees. So site 5, there is absolutely nothing to work with for hammocks. Same thing with 4, site 4. Now 3, if you go up here just a little bit, or 3, there's 2 really good trees that would work. Probably like 2 sets of trees that would work. Site 2 where I'm at, I know this hang works. Notice I've done this hang twice off these trees. Kind of like over at Sioux, I always hang off of the same trees over at Sioux campground. Yeah, but this one here is site 1. I think next time I come up here, I want to do this one. This tree to this tree works really good. And if I do head in over this way, I can kind of see the fire. So if I do a fire, I didn't do a fire last night. I just didn't really need it, and it was warm enough, and I didn't really feel like doing one. So about halfway done with packing up. I got to finish my coffee, get all the food stuff packed away, and get the rest of this put away. All right, just get back to the car, and yeah, I can make a pretty good pace when I'm not stopping to film stuff every 5 minutes. So I did 3.1 miles per hour, 2.51 miles, pretty much the same out and back. 48 minutes, 26 seconds, 349 calories. Somehow, I don't know if the elevation looks different than it did yesterday. I don't know, maybe it's the same. Max speed 9.6. Actually, it'd be interesting to see. It says 242 and 269 elevations. So yesterday, same distance. Oh yeah, I guess it's about the same. Yeah, I did 3.1 miles an hour yesterday. Pretty much identical stats yesterday to today. So nothing spectacular. Just wanted to get out of the house and do a quick backpack close to home. Next week, I'm doing I'm doing a long day hike next week, going up to Allegheny National Forest. So that'll be on next week's agenda. 2 things I forgot about. My new phone battery lasted great. I still have almost a full charge, and I tracked 5 miles worth of hiking, which my other phone would have died after 5 miles. Plus, I listened to that podcast last night. That was like an hour-long podcast. So yeah, no problems with the new phone battery. Anyways, and also, I had no song of the day yesterday, no song of the day today. Didn't have anything at all in my head. And I am not going to McDonald's post-trip today just because there's not one that I'm going to be passing by on the way back to the house. I'm only like 5 miles from the house. That's a wrap for today.